These are the VRS Direct Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit IRacing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Control, feel Feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain. Only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full and in the end, beast it's taking over, cannot contain the desire to get to vain. The past, the roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line. One last race, one last time. Through it all, that pain, cutting laps, making gains. Feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to the lane. Speeding for no control. Feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain. Only one thing to do to get to victory. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome in to the iRacing World Challenge presents the final round of Season 2 of the VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series here tonight, live from Detroit, Belle Isle. The last time we were here, it went up in smoke for some drivers last season, and one man stood tall, that being the current defending champion, Simon Mazzomo, who comes into this race tonight, P2 in the championship, 31 points off the heels of Sam Muir. Hamish Munro here with you. Alongside me once again is Brenton O'Brien. Brenton, we were just talking pre-race about a couple of big things for your team especially, but there are some big things on offer tonight for some of the drivers in the field, including Sam Muir, who could become, who could win the championship for the first time in his young career here in the IRWC, or for Simon Mazzomo, who could make history and be the first and only ever driver to go back-to-back in the Porsche Cup Series, making it a 100% win rate in the championship annals here in the series. But looks to be an exciting night of racing, and hopefully across both 30-minute feature races we have on offer tonight, we can get some solid battles out there. But I think Belle Isle being surrounded by concrete walls, Britain, it's going to be the one to decide who's the champion. It's not going to be the driver's abilities on track.
It's the grand final, isn't it? And good evening to yourself and to all. Well, a little birdie told me that our championship leader, Sam Muir, has done a lot of testing here this week at Belle Isle, and it shows. But that's what it is. You know, if you've got the opportunity to do testing, that's the difference between sim racing and the real world. It doesn't cost you anything to sit in the sim an hour a night or however long it takes to do some laps, do some full race simulations and get the best out of it. And the little birdie tells me he's actually done a lot of laps, and it showed in the practice just then he was 3/10 fastest in practice session 1, but qualifying is about to start, and looking forward to this because you can't make a mistake. There's concrete walls everywhere, and there's some pretty quick drivers who've rejoined the racing tonight, as well as Ben Pedersen, who we know has been quick. So there's a lot to play for tonight. There really is.
Yep, a lot to play for. Unfortunately, through my scrambling pre-race, I was, unfortunately for my luck, I was starting to get a migraine pre-race, so I was scrambling for Panadol.
Okay.
Did not get a chance. I don't have a migraine now. Luckily, I got to it in time. I didn't get a chance to actually get the track map graphic up tonight, so that's my fault for not being prepared. But
well, I can help you with that. You turn right, then you turn left, then you turn left. Sorry, then you turn right, then left, then right. Go down a false little back straight, then you turn right, then left, then left, then left, then right, then right, then right, then right.
Yep.
That's your lap.
Yep, and then we're at the start-finish line.
That's it.
And I think tonight, I mean, there's going to be probably 4 major areas for us to look at. Turn 3 is always chaos, no matter if it's lap 1 or not, but lap 1 is the most dangerous of any when you're approaching turn 3. The exit or the run from turn 4 up to turn 6 as well at the bridge, that's going to be an area of viewing for us tonight as well. And then down there at turn 7 in towards what is famously known on the SimSpeed channel as the Job Stewart Fountain section. Not the Job Stewart Fountain section, sorry, the James Scott Fountain section. But maybe we'll call it the Job Stewart Fountain section for the series since he's raced here this season. But yeah, and that's going to be a spot to keep on tonight. We'll keep an eye on tonight as well. And then the other is very likely pit entry too. We've seen some incidents happen there before across a multitude of car types as drivers try to come into pit lane and they get caught out with the traffic around them. So time will tell how each section's going to be tonight, but I think we're almost guaranteed incidents at turn 3 and at turn 7. Those are the two that we are always locked into having something happen, and you can put good money on, turn 5 and 6 for something to happen as well. The important numbers tonight to remember, Brenton. So obviously 31 points is the difference between Sam Muir and Simon Mazzomo. In the eventuality that Simon Mazzomo wins race 1, he needs Sam Muir to finish 17th or below to take the lead of the championship. Now, it's 32 points back to P17, so he would lead it into race 2 by 1 singular point. If he loses positions to Sam Muir in race 1, well, we're going to have to do some quick maths in the warm-up session to figure out the exact position that he'll need Sam to end up. The important thing for Simon is, as he follows Sam around at the moment here in qualifying, is he needs to beat Sam in race 1. He cannot afford to hand over points to Sam Muir. Otherwise, it is going to seem like it is an impossible mountain to climb in race 2. Now, we've got a good number of cars on track tonight, which is great to see. I think we've actually got more tonight than we had last week at Long Beach. So that is actually going to play benefit to Mazzomo because it's more positions that he could hope Sam could drop to that he can gain points over. So that will help Mazzomo in the case that Sam does get into some trouble tonight. But they go P1, P2 on their first laps in qualifying. Looks like they're going to go together here across the rest of this session.
So we're talking about, if Simon wins, Sam has to become P17 for Simon to take the lead in the championship with the race to go. If I'm Simon, I'm not even thinking about doing it that way, personally. Like, if Sam Muir comes 17th, that's because Sam has made a mistake or there has been involved in someone else's mistake. So I don't think you can rely on that. Like, I'll use the adage, like, back in the day when I was coaching an AFL team, if we're 5 goals behind at half-time, I don't really want us in front at three-quarter time. Be nice, but all you need to do is you take 3 goals out of that lead at three-quarter in the third quarter, and then you take 2 goals in the last quarter, and you've got yourself that lead back. So that's how Simon needs to think, I would think, tonight. The one thing he has to do, and the only thing he can do, is control himself. He can't control what Sam's going to do. He needs to control his own pace, and this gets all blown away if he doesn't win the race or if he doesn't beat Sam. So the first thing he needs to focus on, and he's doing it already, he's sitting behind Sam as we speak, and he's up on the screen now. Thank you very much for that. As they cross the strike again, Matty Bowler has done a great return to the series, has taken provisional pole at the moment, 131.1. But Mazzomo is now P2, Dawson 3, and Sam Muir down in P4 with a 31.6. So there's a lot to play for here, and Simon's just going to keep shadowing and shadowing and shadowing.
So now obviously I'm mentioning P17 as it'll be the guaranteed, the quick smart guarantee of how you get into the lead of the championship. But as you said, it takes Sam making a massive blunder or getting caught up in somebody else's. If you want to split it to be, this is how many points you beat him by, this is how many positions you beat him by in both races. He needs to beat him by 16 points in both races tonight. That there is the split. To get him to 32 points. He needs 32 to get ahead of Sam, because on count back, Sam would still win if they equalised on points, because Sam's had more wins this season. So that there for Mazzomo is, if we go to 16 points, he needs Sam to finish 9th or below. So, and that's if he wins. So he needs to beat Sam by 9 positions in both races tonight. Tough night is possible though, especially with the kind of chaos that can happen here at Belle Isle.
Look, and as Roy and HG say, anything can happen and probably will. It is going to be tough. But, so as Sam just goes to, actually that didn't last very long. Sam was on provisional pole for all of half a second, and then Matty Bowler's taken that back. So now, if Sam's smart, and I'm sure he is, he proved that he had some series nous last week with his unusual strategy in race 1. Why would he even consider racing hard anybody tonight, knowing where he has to finish, what he has to do? So You let Matty Bowler and Dawson and Harris and Mazzomo and Reddit and Veld, let them drive off into the distance. Just clock up a couple of P5s, a couple of P6s. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be driving aggressive. You don't have to be racing at all with anyone. Find your own little private patch of dirt and just follow it around in circles for half an hour each race. You've got yourself a championship.
Well, I mentioned it. The key number is he needs to finish in the top 9 in both races, pretty much. So that's what his goal should be. It's just a top 9 finish in both races. He will win the championship. If he fails to do that in race 1, that will put some pressure on him, of course. But the pressure is more so on Mazzomo as the chaser, more so the chasee here tonight. So, he's got work to do. Sam does not have as much work to do. He's got less pressure on him. The important point tonight is as well, he can't really pull the strategy that he pulled last week, because this week it's only a top 5 reverse for the second race grid. So he wouldn't even get any much more benefit than what he tried to pull last time out at Long Beach, where he finished P10 to get pole. So we shouldn't see him attempting that tonight in race, or the end of race 1, start of race 2. We are halfway through qualifying though. Matty Bowler sits provisional pole, but Ben Pedersen freshly in. I will tell you right now. Look at that livery on that car. Freshly in the Riot Sim Racing livery is Ben Pedersen. So he's found himself a team, it seems, Brenton. And
overdue.
Very overdue. And for my money, if you want to look at a dangerous combination for next season, from what we've seen in the last half of this season, Ben Pedersen and Stefan Lawrence, what a combination that could be as two of your quickest drivers up the order. You put that up against Matty Bowler and Hayden Veld. You put that up against, hell, even Simon Mazzomo, and for next season, who signed up Rick Kunetsov. That's a hell of a lineup for your 2 fastest drivers on track. And that's going to be a tough combination for anyone to beat on the road week in and week out for Season 3 if they both do go racing. And I mention that because Season 3 sign-ups are now open to the public as well. We've hit halfway to our limitation of 50 entries. So we're at roughly 25 entries at this stage as Matty Bowler goes up to P2. Just betters his time. Oh no, sorry, stays P2. Lawrence is going to P3. Muir now P4. Dawson P5. Daniel Harris returns to the series tonight, maybe trying to make up for what happened last time he was at this circuit and just have a bit of a better run on the road this evening. That's the hopes for Daniel Harris here tonight. But yes, sign-ups are now live for Season 3 of the IRWC VRS Porsche Cup Series. The sign-ups are also live for Season 1 of the IRWC GTE Sports Car Championship as well, running on Wednesday nights next season. And then Friday night's Rod Knock Cup continues on next season into Season 2 with next-gen NASCAR racing coming your way as well. So all those sign-ups are now live. You can join our Discord to get involved. We'll periodically put the link to the Discord in the general or in the live chat of the stream here tonight over on YouTube. Let's just have a quick look, as we've got about 4.5 minutes left to run here in qualifying, at the points table. Just quickly, so we mentioned it's 31 points between Muir and Mazzomo. There's no Colby Warren this week, so he's out. So it is a 2-horse race here for those top 2, Brenton. The important thing is there are some drivers who can jump themselves into the top 25 of the championship tonight, namely Aaron Smith, Shannon Fever, Matt Bowler, who are all on track at the moment. Blake Fitzpatrick is out there. We know that Ocean Colangelo is not racing the Porsche Cup any longer, so she should drop position and out of the top 25. So there is an opportunity for a couple of drivers to jump over to the left-hand side of the tally. Not that it will do very much in terms of earning them something, but it will at least give them some ego and confidence boost. They finished in the top half of the field for the top 50 drivers in the series.
Yeah, so we know that Blake Fitzpatrick is driving, Ocean no, and I can't see Johnny Rose actually here as well, P25. Yeah, P25 at the moment. So Sean Lindsell not driving, we know as well, and I haven't seen Aaron Smith.
Aaron is out there. He's currently out there.
Is he?
On track.
What is he?
He is at the back of the field, but points are points. He will gain some further back of the field. There he is there, running around at the moment. Okay. He's yet to actually set a lap time in qualifying. He's really struggling here tonight. Yeah.
So I guess that's why I can't find him on my JRT. But Matty Bowler, I would think, would be the favourite there to get into that all-important top 25.
Yep.
Has shown some good pace when he's driven, and including what I would think is probably, certainly to me, the round of the season for an individual driver, where he just absolutely cleaned up from rear of grid. Was that Winton? I think it was. Was it Winton? You have to remind me on that. Might not have been Winton.
No, it was Bathurst.
Bathurst.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Hello. He's an absolute Bathurst specialist too. Like, goes extremely well. He could drive a billy cart pretty quick around there, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was an outstanding night for him and the team. And he's just a good, solid driver. He really is. And just showing levels of consistency. His team manager would wish he would practice more, but at the same time, his team manager realises that he's got real life commitments that do get in the way of sim racing. But we've only got a couple of minutes to go in qualifying, and it really is stirring things up. And Ben Pedersen, we were talking about before, well overdue getting into a team. I've always been surprised he hasn't been. Sam Muir, however, has just gone top only just by 4/100ths of a second. So that's fantastic news for Sam. I do see that Ben's kept his Titleist and PGA sponsorship on the front of his car.
Yep. Still.
Just so happens I'll be using my Titleist T350 clubs shortly, and my Pro V1s. I use them every week when I play golf. So if anybody out there supporting Ben in the Titleist, I need a new driving iron. I might have to hit Ben up with that one and see what he can offer us.
I was about to say maybe you could get him out on the links at some point with you as well and have a little hit. A special little stat to mention tonight as well. So we recently went in through our stats on SimRacer Hub to figure out how many race starts people have tonight. I want to give a shout out to Jared McLeod. Last time he raced was his 50th race start here in the series.
Nice.
Tonight he'll rack up start 51 and 52. And then the driver with the most starts in all of the IRWC, this is also including back in our days of running Legends and GT4s last year, Johnny Rowe starting his 78th and 79th races here this evening. So some big numbers coming there. The next to hit 50 will be Craig Schultz and Paul Wilson, who are both on 41 starts at this stage. They'll, of course, make their 42nd and 43rd here tonight across the two races as well. So a massive congratulations to those guys. And, just wanted to give a little shout-out to Jared for hitting his 50th race start.
And rightly so. Those type of things should be recognised. It shows a commitment to the series and a commitment to what he's doing as well. So, yes, absolute congratulations. We're down to the last 20 seconds in qualifying at the moment, and there doesn't seem to be a lot of cars on hot laps. We did see that Stefan Lawrence has gone to P2, and with pretty much the identical time of Ben Pedersen, right, within 2 1,000ths. Bowler has pitted, so P4 will be the best he can. The championship contender, Simon Mazzomo, has run out of time. Did not get that last lap in and was only just short. It looked like a pretty good lap too, just quietly. P8, and I'll let you go through the grid.
Well, starting grid for tonight's race will be as follows. Sam Muir will start pole position for race 1 alongside Stefan Lawrence on the front row of the grid. Stefan's new teammate Ben Pedersen starts in behind on the second row of the grid alongside Matty Bowler for the top 4, with Daniel Harris and Alan Dawson then for the top 6 cars. Hayden Veld, Simon Mazzomo then makes up the top 8, so there's 7 positions separating the championship contenders for the race start here tonight. Dean Reddit, Daniel Yeaman then make up the top 10. Angus Lawford, Craig Schultz make up our top 12 on the grid, with Alex Schuler, Ellie Gardner starting ahead of Shannon Fever for the top 15. Kurt Chapman, John Akers, Stacey Boyd for the top 18 tonight, ahead of Jake Burton and Steve Tonkin, with Rodney Golan and Paul Wilson the top 22. Jared McLeod, Blake Fitzpatrick, they make up the top 24 cars, with Harry Dodds, Johnny Rowe, Gary Watson and Aaron Smith making up our 28 car field. A big shout out to our race controllers here tonight, of course, our chief race steward Kyle Gretsch in there, with Leith McClement and Jordan Ferguson as the offsiders, with Lucas Burt as race control and Jack Anderson being the admin representative in the RC booth here this evening. Lawrence, well, he's got clear road ahead of him tonight. He starts in the front row in what could be an opportunity for him to sneak himself his first race win here in the series. But Sam Muir starting alongside him, well, he'll be hungry to solidify some points heading into the final race of the season in race 2 this evening. Anyone else behind them, well, they've got work to do, including the car with the number 1 on it, Simon Mazzomo. And, well, Brenton, will it be the final time that car has the number 1 on it for the time being, or can he hold on to it for another 3 months if he wins here tonight? So as we get gridded up and we get ourselves sorted as well, we've got a couple of chats out there this evening. Rhiannon out there mentioning your track talk, Brenton, saying a picture has been beautifully been painted in my mind from that description.
Well, we don't need to do your track map anymore. The way I described it was pretty much spot on. And
I want you to do the Nordschleifer like that.
Oh, Jesus. Can do. Just give us an hour. But it was, it was very well described, and he knows exactly how to get around it now, and I appreciate that. Absolutely, I do. And we do have to keep an eye on Elliot, from what Elliot said as too, with Ben Pedersen. I did notice it in the way he was bouncing off the wall there. It kind of looked deliberate, to be honest with you. His qualifying was over, and he was just getting well out the way. But we're down to the last 10 seconds before the start. Yeah, it's Sam Muir's to lose, so let's see how he goes about defending this.
Well, I've said a lot of times, pressure can create diamonds, but it can also crack glass. It's up to Sam Muir, and it's up to the racing gods whether he walks out of tonight as a precious gem or a pile of shatters as the lights go up and go out at Detroit Belle Isle. We're underway for the final round of the season. And Muir already under pressure into turn 1 as Lawrence slots on through into first place. Exit of 2 now. Pedersen all over him down towards turn 3. This is the danger zone tonight. The next braking zone, the next section of circuit. This is where we often see the most carnage happening around here. And they've got to try and get through cleanly if they can. The leaders do. But how do the back runners go? Can they keep it clean themselves? They look fairly good at the moment. Nice and tidy through there. And somehow, Britain, we've survived turn 3, lap 1.
Well, it's the championship final, isn't it? So these guys, they're not going to win anything if they don't get around the first lap. I did notice that I find a lot of the time in championship deciders, there's a car from the background. That looked like Hayden Bell. Looks like he's had some dramas earlier. I'm not sure whether he got tagged or... he's actually flipped that pretty well. There's some damage to that car, it looks like, though. It looked like it was crabbing pretty bad. Don't send the invoice to me. Sometimes I find in championship deciders, everyone just lets the leaders through, or the contenders through. Another car's gone off. Is that Shannon?
Yeah, and Jared McLeod as well, so a couple of cars back there. Yeah, hopefully we get them battling with them. Don't give it to them for free this week.
I did notice early on when Mez was trying to get past Hayden Veld, Hayden was not just letting him walk past. And Mez has got himself away at half decent start, but Muir's doing the right thing here. Just let Stefan drive off. Stefan get the win. Congratulations, because if Stefan's getting the win, that means Simon's not. We'll have a look at the replay here.
This was Hayden Veld, so Daniel Yeaman on his outside as they ran through. Oh, that was a bit of a tough camera angle.
Across. Yeah, have to have another look at that. Haven't seen it been reported in at all.
Yeah, I wonder if Hayden knows, because he's the passing car, that the onus is on him, maybe. I'm not sure, but see if we can get a better view of it on the exit.
Just have to have a look.
Oh, there was a little touch.
It looks like he's bounced off the wall. But as the drop bear car actually bounced off the wall into him, that's how it comes across to me.
Yeah.
Just from first image, which would put down just probably a driving incident. You wouldn't penalise that, I wouldn't think.
No, and then this was Shannon Fever down at turn 7, got really locked up under brakes.
Yeah.
And off the road, and then I think Jared Smith has had sympathy run off the road further down into the escape route. So they've got going
not
again.
An uncommon mistake that. So especially early cold tyres as well, and just the bumps into the braking zone just certainly disturbed the car there. And Sam's doing the right thing. He's now P4. Soon Daniel Harris will put some pressure on him. He'll drop down a spot. He's just counting down the minutes. He's counting down the laps. And don't forget, he could finish behind Mazzomo in race 1. If Mez comes up to him and puts some pressure on him, he can just let him go too, so long as he doesn't just keep dropping there. Now, Blake Fitzpatrick, unfortunately, for his chances in the top 25, has also dropped out of the server. So that's significant ramifications for him trying to get in the top 25.
Yeah, and I mean, what an effort from Blake. Of course, started the season a bit late. He joined onto the wait list and then came in onto the locked-in list when some drivers dropped out. So a hell of an effort for him to get into the top 25 of the championship after not even running the first few rounds of the season. So, you know, he's had a very solid season thus far. Hopefully we see him back for season 3 and trying to get a full season under his belt. He could get himself maybe a cheeky top 10 in the championship too going forward. But as Muir sits here in P4, Mazomo, well, there's not much more he can do right now. He's got to try and get past Dawson and Harris and then hope that Muir gets into some issues. As it just said to me that Steve Tonkin was jumping down the order, but he wasn't. It's Johnny Rowe who's in the wall down at turn 6.
Yeah, I think he had some help there as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have to have a look at that. And not a great rejoin, but probably was starved for choices there. Let's have a look what's happened here. Hayden Veld. Maybe giving him some assistance here. He's got his nose in. Is he there on entry? Probably not.
Yeah.
No. Look, Johnny looked like he actually opened the door for him to make a pass there. It certainly wasn't on apex at all, so Hayden could have mistakenly thought that he was letting him through, but that's what race control will have a look at.
Ben Pedersen, new fastest lap of the race, 1:31.29. As Riot Sim Racing look to go 1-2 for the first time this season here in the final round of the championship. The finale round here tonight. Matt Bowler sits about a second off the back of him with Sam Muir chasing them down as well in towards turn 3. Now as the tyres begin to degrade throughout this race, Brenton, that's when drivers are going to have to start maybe just pulling themselves up a little bit earlier into those tighter corners, you know, turn 3, turn 6, and even into turn 7 as well, because very easily the car could get a bit loose as you run through the corner and then end up running wide as well and into the wall. And the other issue is if they take a pit stop tonight and they haven't pre-prepared themselves for the heavier fuel load in the car when they come out of pit lane, that could also cause issues for them as well.
Absolutely, but the good guys these days are very good at looking after tyres, and tyres around here aren't normally that big an issue. It's just a different surface here at Belle Isle, more concrete based. So the surface doesn't seem to have a lot of, certainly not that grippy, but it also doesn't seem to tear the tyres apart. So I'm pretty confident these guys will be able to look after their tyres. And again, talking about tyres, please, Ben, if you've got anyone out there in your new team listening, turn your tyres off. It's like going to the kindergarten and telling the same story every week. But turn your tyres off, Ben, because you've got yourself in a good position here. The question will be, is that Ben's obviously quicker than Stefan. The last lap of a 1:30.8, fastest lap of the race, half a second quicker than Stefan in front. Well, for the first time ever with Ben Pedersen, are we talking about team orders? Because we don't know what's coming up ahead.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they could maybe just sit together and try and run away and get to the pit stop and maybe make the changeover in the pits, or Stefan may just let him through.
Well, or Stefan might not want to let him through at all and think, well, why should he? Just because you're
That's true.
Just because you're wearing a different colour doesn't mean I'm just going to let you drive through. And I would hope that there isn't team orders. And to be honest with you, what's there to gain by having team orders this time of year? So hopefully these guys will just box it out.
Yeah, I mean, you know, neither of them are in the championship hunt.
That's right.
It's all for bragging rights between them at the front of the field. It's the same scenario for Alan Dawson, who will look to go to P3 in the championship total here tonight, with Colby Warren away and with Angus Lawford, I believe. No, Angus is here actually, he's P9, so both of those guys are battling it out for what will be corrected P3 in the championship. Right, Sim Racing got into the chat, can confirm last night we got Ben to default his tyres off in the app ini files, so there's an improvement.
And that's why he's in a team.
Yeah.
That's why he's in a team, because
Matty Bowler just blinking
there.
Yeah, he's just blinked and rejoined right behind Daniel Harris, so that's an interesting scenario. I think he actually blinked inside of Harris's car, so maybe touching him up a little bit too much than what Harris would like. But they battle away for P4 at this stage of the race. Well, of course, Daniel Harris, one of the finalists for the Victorian State Series in iRacing as well, had the opportunity to go racing in the Final Four as Mazomo up the inside of Dawson, but he spins it round at 3.
That's it. Now, hopefully Muir's team or anyone associated with Muir's on the blower to him right away going, Simon has just dropped down to P13. yeah, you could box now, get your pit stop over and done with, and come out clear air. He's got clear air now anyway. That's yeah. I know in TV land we like to keep things exciting and endless, but you know that's terminal for Simon Mazzomo, because not only was he relying on Sam being down at P17, but Simon had the win, and he ain't winning from there.
Yeah, the only world now for Mazzomo, the only world that he could possibly do this now is, or if they were to finish where they are, P3 and P13, is Sam ends up finishing, either not finishing race 2, which means he wouldn't take any points, or he'd have to finish P27. So basically the same as not finishing. So that's a very tough world and a very tough pill to swallow, possibly, for Simon Mazzomo. It's an unfortunate mistake, but it's one that happens.
Well, you probably would have gathered by now I'm not that sympathetic towards these type of mistakes. That was a bad mistake. That was a lazy mistake. It wasn't from being aggressive. It was just a bad move that didn't stick, and it never looked like it was going to stick. And all he's done is put himself... Well, I'm not going to say he's put himself under any pressure, because he's under no pressure now. He's just going to try and chip away, get as many passes as he can. Probably an early pit stop might not hurt, but he's got himself behind some reasonably quick drivers, including Ellie Gardner, who was very quick only a couple of rounds ago, had an outstanding round at Hockenheim, I think it was. It's a fatal mistake, and it's a lazy mistake. Sam's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's 3.5 seconds behind P2 Pedersen, and he's almost 2 seconds ahead of P4 Matty Bowler. So Sam is in cruise control at the moment. He's doing an outstanding job tonight. Not driving to win. Well, he's not going to win the battle, but he's going to win the war, and that's exactly what he's there for.
Well, that's what the mindset needed to be for Sam coming into this race, was win the war, not the battle. And all he had to do was, you know, finish in the top 9 in both races, and he'd win the championship. At this stage, he'd be well and truly doing that. Now, it hasn't written off Mazzomo mathematically, of course. There is still the mathematical chance that it happens. Real world sometimes gets in the way. Statistically speaking, though, it is more than likely Samuel's championship to lose right now. Like, it is his to lose, because unless one of those real world issues happens where he drops out for some apparent reason, whether it's a power outage, an internet outage, whatever it may be, and he doesn't finish race 2, that's arguably the only way that Simon Mazzomo can win this thing. And he would need Muir to, as I said, not finish the race, because then he wouldn't be scoring any points.
Yeah, so I'm not going to focus on what Simon can do. I'm going to focus on what Sam is doing. And what he is doing is driving an unbelievably sensible race. To the point where last lap is actually the fastest lap of the race for Sam Muir, 131.39, comfortably faster than the next car, a 1/10.5, 2/10 faster than Ben Pedersen. So not only does he seem in control, and Pedersen's now being held up, bit of drama here.
Yeah, that there was Harry Dodds missing his brake marker by a hell of a lot and making rear end contact with John Akers into turn 3. So that's a very unfortunate mistake there for Doddsy. That drops him back to P23 now on the road. But yeah, I mean, what Sam is doing right now is he's driving a very consistent race.
Yeah.
You know, it's selectively he's taking the loss to take the win. He's not pushing too hard to try and get a race win, where he knows the more important thing tonight is the championship win. That is what is more important to him.
When you line up in the grid in race number 1 for any series, yeah, whilst it's nice to win the race, absolutely. You're not in that race to win the race, you're there to win the series. And I keep referring back to Keke Rosberg, 1981, maybe before you were born, Hamish. Probably thinking it was.
That's about 17 years before I was born, Brenton.
Before you were born. Anyway, 1981 World Championship, Keke Rosberg, driving a Williams. Formula 1 champion, only won 1 race for the whole season, but just picked up a whole heap of second and thirds. And that's what gets the job. We've got a tow request here.
Yeah, it's Aaron Smith.
So we have to have a look. Well, this could change things.
It could.
This could absolutely change things. With 16.5 minutes to go, that is in a dangerous spot. Would be surprised if this is not a safety car. I would think there's a safety car written here. And also, meanwhile at the front, I think we've had a change of lead.
We have Pedersen's gone past Lawrence. Oh,
yeah.
that was not... Oh, actually, that's why he came
Hang
past
on,
Lawrence, because
that's
Lawrence
why-
hit him.
So
Yeah.
that's worth having another look at. That is worth having another look at from Lawrence's perspective, because that's desperately unlucky. So he's a long way down, like to be already almost a lap down here. But he's just had nowhere to go, has he? So Aaron's just bounced off the wall. Yeah, that's not Aaron's fault, and certainly not Lawrence's fault. And that's the difference. Like, how easily could have that been Sam Muir?
I mean, it was.
yeah.
It could have been so easily Sam Muir. I mean, he came round that he came round that corner, and there's a car right in his way. So that there is a very interesting moment. The safety cars are in pit lane, but the drivers are still traversing at the moment. So I'm unsure if they're actually calling the safety car or not.
Yeah, it's certainly a delay in it. It's certainly a significant delay.
I think he's been allowed to tow. So Smith has been allowed to tow back to pit lane.
That's yeah, don't agree with that. And have to remember that the sport is here for entertainment, and that was a great opportunity to bring the safety car out and provide the entertainment. And that's a safety car every day of the week in that location, every day of the week. So race control have got their reasons. They probably think it's in a safe spot. I don't necessarily agree, but yeah, I think he's has he already been given permission to tow?
Yeah, he's towed back to pit lane now.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he may be out of the race at this stage as well, which makes Mez's night a little bit harder. There is a battle happening behind him, though, with Kurt Chapman, Rodney Golan, and Hayden Veld is on the comeback train tonight. He's down 10 positions, but he's back up to P17 at the moment and trying to battle away here with Rodney Golan.
So Hayden's going fast, but he's going nowhere because he's got a 15-second penalty on top of what we see now with that incident with Johnny Rowe. And also Harry Dodds has just picked up a 15-second penalty from that incident we've seen before. So 15 seconds seems to be the flavour of the day thus far.
Well, apparently as well, according to Corey Lazarus is in the chat, which, Corey, hopefully we see you back next season and racing with us once again. Apparently Matty Bowler getting over the radio a little bit there and getting a bit vocal as well. So
yeah, it looks like he's got some downshifting issues, so not sure about that. But yeah, absolutely came through loud and clear there. And we look at this battle. Veld's obviously the quickest out of the three here, but he's got nothing to lose. He's missed a handful of races, so he's not in championship contention at all. But you've got guys like Rodney Golan and Kurt Chapman, and they've been pretty quiet this season, to be honest with you. But yeah, Veld is all over the back of these two. It'll be interesting to see if and when he does make a move, or is this a good time for Hayden to pit, get out of this way, get out of the traffic? It's a bit of a battle here. There's going to be going side by side as they go into turn 15. Sorry, turn 7. So it's a battle for P15. So sure, no, Hayden didn't get that to stick immediately.
Stefan
so yeah,
Lawrence
there's a fair bit going
is into pit lane, so first pit stop of the race here, Brenton.
Also wonder if he's got some damage that he's carrying from that incident with Harris. It's a smart move for Lawrence if he's carrying damage, so he'll get that car repaired pretty quickly.
So Lawrence into pit lane, takes his one and only stop of the race. That's now promoted Matty Bowler into P3. Daniel Harris on his heels at this stage. Can confirm as well, Blake Fitzpatrick apparently quit the session whilst he was on track without permission, so he's actually been disqualified for race 1. He will be welcome to start race 2 because he's only been disqualified from the first race. He hasn't been disqualified from the round, so that's often the ruling, that if you're disqualified from one race for time without permission, you can take part in the next one, but you will have to start at the back of the field with the pit lane start. So if Blake is still in the server, we should see him in race 2. If not, then we likely will not see him in race 2. Bowler and Harris are battling away. Simon Mazzomo back in P12 at the moment, down 4 positions in this race. If he's going to get anything out of tonight, he needs that car back into the top 10. He's got work to do across the next 12 minutes, but the clock is ticking, and it's looking more and more likely, Brenton, that it's going to strike midnight on the opportunity for him to go back-to-back here this season. And
yeah, and he's not going to have his glass slipper on at midnight, that's for sure.
No.
So, and the other thing is, we were talking before after he had his spin, that he's got to work his way through the traffic, including Ellie Gardner. Well, Ellie Gardner's actually pulled away from him. So he last lap was 2/10 quicker. No, Mizomo's lap times are poor. He's a second, 1.2 seconds pace-wise a lap off of the lead. So this isn't disappearing his championship hopes. It's disappeared. The lack of safety car not so long ago. The lack of safety car hasn't helped his chances, but he shouldn't be relying on that. So it's been a disappointing night for Mez. Might have had some a lack of preparation time this week. I don't know, but it's certainly been shown up tonight that he's really not overly competitive at the moment.
No, not at this stage. Shannon Fever is battling away with Jared McLeod for P20 on the road as well. Nice tight-knit battle got going on here, as well as Stacey Boyd in amongst the battle with Paul Wilson, Hayden Veld and Kurt Chapman now. Boyd has re-signed up for next season, so he'll be a permanent member of the series for season 3. So I'll be excited to see what Stacey can do. Had some good performances this season.
Had some good ones. Yeah, absolutely.
Did very, very well for himself. Came off the wait list very early on, and then has been on fire ever since. With I think he only has one penalty to his name this season, Brenton. So a very clean driver, very accomplished driver as well. Has been putting a lot of focus into racing in Scops.
Oh, Hayden's deep there.
He
got
wants
out
that
of
move.
time. Yeah, so Hayden's got a big weekend in front of him. He's the supercarts are racing at Sandown this weekend in the Victoria State Championship. I know Hayden's a big participant in the supercarts, and supercarts at Sandown, I don't think it's a good thing. Like, he's going to have to wear a mouth guard there because it's as bumpy as all heck.
He might need a neck brace as well, quite possibly.
Yeah, and it's been a very, very successful week for the ERT team, with Ethan Grigol winning his 3rd XL National Championship. Still to this day, the best single race I've seen maybe in my life, and certainly the best save I've seen on a front-wheel drive car on the last lap for Ethan. But I digress, and what is going on with Hayden?
Hayden is heavily defending the inside line.
Yeah, but I don't know what for in that manner. Like, have a look at his last lap time. But he did have to, so his last lap time was slow, but that's because he had to redress the position. So we'll disregard his last lap time, but even this lap time doesn't look like it's going to be too spectacular. So his fastest lap thus far is a 132 flat. His last lap time was a 137. That's because he had to redress position. But this lap's been unusual, and now he's actually at the position where he's actually pulling well away from Kurt Chapman and crew. So he's put that crowd together, and in that crowd there is Shannon Fever. Now, I've been a fan of Shannon ever since there's Shannon just there in the Kiwi car. So I've been a fan of Shannon this season. There was a reverse grid race a while ago, and he just held on. He's driven so well, and including last week and the week before. I think if I was to give most improved, and here we are, he's down P19 at the moment, so it's a disappointing race for him now. But I've been a big fan of what Shannon's done, the commitment that he's shown to the series this year, and just the ever improving. And you know, there's been many a time where he's been under pressure and has been able to withhold that pressure and done a really good job. And I would say the same, yeah, not so much tonight position-wise, but the way he's been driving tonight's generally been clean. And I'll probably just put the kiss of death on him. But I've been a big fan of how Shannon, and of all the drivers in the field this season, for some reason I've just been gluing myself to where Shannon is in the race, and I'm constantly watching his results, and I think he's done an outstanding job this season.
I think he's done a great job, sitting in a fairly good position within the championship standings at this stage, and I have to agree with you, very, very talented driver, and has been on the improvement all season long.
Yeah.
Sits outside the top 25 in the championship at the moment, but has got an opportunity to get up there now because Aaron Smith is out,
right.
Blake Fitzpatrick's out,
Yep.
Ocean Colangelo is going to be dropping points, and he's ahead of Johnny Rowe. By the end of this race, he should be in the top 25 with Matt Bowler. So I think, you know...
And deserves it.
Yeah, definitely
Good little
deserves it.
move here, tied in here. Yeah, that job will get done. So moves up another position. So passes Paul Wilson. Yeah, so been a big fan. Would like next season to go not just the next step, but the step after. So we're talking about constant top 10 finishes. I don't think's totally out of the control, and certainly not beyond not being unrealistic. So hopefully Shannon does watch the broadcast back and say, yeah, people are paying attention. I also think that if there's any, oh dear, what have I done there?
You have put
I'll
the
let you take over
absolute
there.
moz on him at this stage.
I absolutely have. I still, oh my lord. I did say that I got the kiss of death and commentator's curse, but if there's any teams out there, not including ERT, that are looking for a driver, I think you could absolutely go with Shannon for next season. Now there's a question for you from Corey in there as well. I'm not sure how to take that question, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, so I'll let you address that one.
Brenton O'Brien, is Brenton locked in for next season? So ironically, I asked Brenton right before the show if he would like to come back for next season, because I'd love to have Brenton back. I think your analysis is very good, Brenton. And
well, maybe not, because I was just talking Shannon up and absolutely binned it, so I'm in for a pay cut, that's for sure, because that was just, yeah. As they say, these things, something happens, and that's what's happened just there. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, though, Corey, whether you want me back or not, or whether you want to put your hand up and be the co-commentator. I think maybe Corey's keen.
I think it comes down to he's asked that question as that moment has happened to Shannon. So, but one thing I will say is, though, so one thing that we're looking to introduce next season, this might entice any drivers who are watching out there who are thinking about signing up for next season but aren't quite sure, especially some drivers who may be lower in the field too. If we, we're hoping we can hit capacity early enough. So we're hoping we can hit capacity within the next week or so, because we want to run pre-qualifying, because we want to be able to separate people into classes amongst the field. This will then give drivers further back in the field something to fight for every single week. What they'll be fighting for every week? Well, instead of giving our VRS subscriptions to the top 3 in the race every single week, we'll be giving them to the class winners every week of the round. So, for example, if Ben Pedersen were to win tonight, and he's a pro class driver, let's be honest, he would win the 3-month subscription. Let's give an example of Shannon Fever, could be a silver class driver. If he won tonight, he'd get the 2-month subscription. And then let's say Johnny Rowe, for example, is a bronze class driver. He would win the 1-month subscription tonight if he won the round for that class. So, as a way of enticing racing, as a way of keeping people interested, we want to go to classes next season. We're not moving to 2 splits. We're going to keep it at 50 entries. If we get enough interest for drivers wanting to race in Season 4, that may change. But we want to be able to fill these entries up. So, if you're going to sign up for next season, sign up as soon as possible, because we're going to be running pre-qualifying prior to next season. We've got a full month after tonight before round 1. The tracks that we're planning on running pre-qualifying at are 2 tracks off the calendar this season, Bretton. Our current front runners is the Red Bull Ring and Winton. Those are our current front runners for pre-qualifying. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. So on the chat, Rannon's actually said that he thinks.
She thinks. Yeah, I can tell you how well that will go, Bretton, from experience.
Well, hang on, but after what you've just said about the amateur division, Shannon, you can take the because I'm racing and I'm going to win 3 months of VRS, because God knows that no one on this earth needs more coaching than this little black duck. So I'm out of the commentating. I'm in a Porsche, and so I'll have to race. So Shannon, the job's yours.
Yeah, how that's going to go is I will give complete. Daniel Yeaman doing so well racing at the front here. Rhiannon, what's your thoughts? Cargo room. That will be the special comms on the other side of me talking. Yeaman leads the way though. He's gone onto lap.
We've only got 2 minutes to go in the race.
Yeah.
We probably should get back to it.
Could Yeaman actually make the whole way? I mean, there's going to be 30 seconds left on the clock. He could have fuel saved to get a no stop tonight. It is possible in these 30-minute races. Now, one rule we've implemented for next season, and it is a requirement that new drivers and all drivers actually have to read the rules, especially when we update them as well. We've not mentioned what changes we've made because we want drivers to read through them. But one change we are making next season is drivers must make it under their own power after the checkered flag to the start of Sector 2. So we can't have a scenario where somebody either runs out of fuel and they've pulled up on the side of the road right after the timing line, or a scenario where a driver might decide to stop on the road after the timing line and it makes contact with another car. So we're trying to limit that. The way we're limiting that is you must make it to the beginning of Sector 2, and we will mention that in our pre-race briefing each week prior to the race of where you must get to then be classified. Otherwise, you will receive a penalty if you do not make it there. Yeaman's in though.
Yeaman pit.
Yep. So
aggressive pit entry as well.
Very aggressive.
So we're down to the last 40 seconds, so 1 lap to go, and Pedersen has taken what I think is the rightful position for where he has. Like, let's face it, if he did some proper pit stops earlier in the season, he'd be right up there in contention. But woulda, coulda, shoulda. But more importantly, there's a car 182 has done a sensational job this race. Has done exactly what he's needed to do. Hasn't had to do anything more. And would this almost lock the championship out for the last race? Are we talking about 30 minutes of laps of honour?
Yeah, he's still gaining 20 points over Mazzomo.
Yeah.
So the opportunity for it to happen for Mez is still open. Even with only 26 cars left in the server, it is an opportunity for it to happen. But the issue is he would need Muir to not get to 75% in race 2. That is the only way that Mazzomo could win. If he gains a position over Schuler, that will give him the amount of point. Like he could then mathematically still beat Sam, with Sam finishing the race in P26. So he needs a position if it's going to happen. At this stage, though, it is Sam Muir's to lose. I did have race control message me for me to tell them which driver's going to win it. I did say to them, look, after going into race 2, Sam has just gained 20 odd points over Mazzomo in this one. He would need to disconnect and not finish the race for Simon to win. So that is the current landscape. So, but for Ben Pedersen, he takes the race win in race 1 tonight ahead of Sam Muir in P2. Stefan Lawrence will make it a double podium for Riot Sim Racing ahead of Daniel Harris and Matt Bowler in P5. And it's supposed to be a reverse top 5 for our starting grid of race 2. So it means that Bowler should be pole position in the next race. Yeaman home in P6 ahead of Lawford, Reddit, Schultz, and Ellie Gardner makes up our top 10 for race number 1. Alex Schuler, Simon Mazzomo, Rodney Golan, Jake Burton, Hayden Veld, Jared McLeod look to make up the top 16, but they're yet to get to the checkered flag. So right now, mathematically speaking, all Sam Muir has to do in race 2 is finish the race. He just has to make checkered flag. In fact, he just has to make 75%, which I believe in our rulebook equates to about 22 minutes. So he needs to get to 22 minutes of race number 2, and he will be classified. Well, he will be one hand on the championship at that point, Brenton. But in that world, to get 75%, you know, he could have a shocker. He could have an incident where, for example, he accidentally tows without permission and gets disqualified. Well, that's it. That's done. He gets no points. So it's the most wild of scenarios now that are going to lose it for him at this stage. He'll be feeling comfortable.
We'll come back to Planet Realism and, you know, celebrate the fact that he's done a very, very good job this season, but also not totally discount the defence that Simon has put up. Like, Simon has had some very strong drives, there's no doubt. A mistake tonight, that's going to happen.
So just to confirm, Brenton, sorry, my stats were off there. It's been a long season. Top 15 reverse for the start of race 2.
Okay.
So whoever finished in P15 is now starting pole. That makes it a little bit more hairy for Sam, because he is starting in that mid-pack, but he just has to race clean. He just has to race clean.
So also what he should probably think about doing, just to get away from it all, is pit as early as he can.
Yep.
Gets that stop out of the way, gets some clear track time, and just enjoy the view.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got 30 minutes of driving around Belle Isle and past the cricket ground and a couple of statues, and enjoy the view, because
that there would be the most boring way to win a championship, but it's the most sensible way to do it as well.
It is the most boring way, and it is the most sensible way, but you could also do it with your smile on face, knowing that, like, you're in the AFL and you're 10 goals up at three-quarter time. You enjoy the last 30 minutes of the last quarter, and that's what I hope Sam does as well. Don't overdrive it. Don't try and prove anything, because you already have proved something, that you are the best jet driver of this series at the moment. So, he's got. It's not run, done, and won yet. We know, but if you're on Sportsbet right now, you're paying $1.0001.
We've only got one driver out on track at the moment, that is Ellie Gardner. We're going to take this time to go to a quick ad break here prior to the final race of the season. Back very, very shortly after these quick messages from VRS.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Welcome back in to the final round of the IRWC VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series. Hamish Munro here with you alongside Brenton O'Brien once again. And we've got one race to go tonight as the warm-up session looks to come to an end. The current landscape of the current game of play is Sam Muir needs to make 75% to score points in race 2, and he will be the provisional Season 2 champion. For Simon Mazzomo, well, he needs to hope for an absolute miracle. He needs Sam to either get penalties and lose points and possibly not even finish the race to even win this championship here this evening. It is a massive amount of pressure on Simon, although he's probably written himself off to this point, so he'll be out there for funsies. It'll be a reverse top 15 grid start for race 2. It will put Sam Muir back in the pack. So if luck's going to go the way of Mazzomo and not the way of Muir, it's going to happen at the start of race 2, but only time will tell. Let's get our starting grid up though here for how they will line up. Hayden Vell will start pole position of race 2 alongside Jake Burton ahead of Rodney Golan and Simon Mazzomo for the top 4. Alex Schuler, Ellie Gardner will then start for the top 6 ahead of Craig Schultz and Dean Reddit for the top 8 cars. Angus Lawford, Daniel Yeaman, they make up the top 10 ahead of Matt Bowler and Daniel Harris for our top 12. Further back, we got Stefan Lawrence and Sam Muir for the top 14, with Ben Pedersen making up the reverse top 15. The rest of the cars will start as they finished in race 1. Jared McLeod ahead of John Akers, Paul Wilson, Stacey Boyd and Alan Dawson for the top 20. Kurt Chapman, Johnny Rose, Steve Tonkin, Gary Watson for the top 24, with Harry Dodds, Shannon Fever, Aaron Smith and Blake Fitzpatrick at the back of the field. I don't believe Fitzpatrick Smith are starting this race. Unsure about Shannon Fever here this evening.
So with a minute to go, there's potential. So guys like Pedersen are going to want to win the race. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to win the championship, but he wants to pick up as many wins as possible. Same with Matty Bowler. He'll want to win the race, and obviously Simon Mazzomo will want to get up there as well. That leads to potential for some carnage early days with some desperate moving. Sam Muir has a chance of being involved in some of that damage. So it'll be really interesting to see how how Sam handles this, knowing that there is potential danger ahead. Hayden Veld off the pole position should be quick enough to drive away with this. No disrespecting the Burtons and the Goldens of the world, but Hayden is a step up on these guys, so hopefully I haven't given him the kiss of death now, but Hayden should drive away with this.
So just to confirm, 26 of the initial 28 starters for race 2 tonight. There is no mathematical finish where they make the checkered flag that Simon Mazzomo can defeat Sam Muir. He needs Sam to not make 75%. That is 22 minutes in this race. Lights up. Away we go for the final round of Season 2. As we get going here in race 2 this evening, Veld gets away well off the start line. Golan and Mazzomo now make up the 3. Burton's dropped a spot or a couple of spots off the start. Horrid start from him.
Yep.
As a couple of drivers are dropping position here, including Angus Lawford. Back there, he's into the wall off the exit of 2. Yep. That's a big mistake there for Lawford. He's called it in.
Muir, no danger there in that incident at all, but he's just rubbing his shoulders at the moment, which is exactly what he doesn't want to do. Who's that with? It looks
That's
like
Jared
it's
McLeod.
McLeod. So Muir he just needs to back out of this. He doesn't need to get racy. There's a good battle up ahead, but this is the first lap is the most important lap for Sam Muir this series. And I think he could handle it a bit better. He doesn't need to be even remotely aggressive. He's got cars closing in on the back of him because he's leaving himself vulnerable now.
He is indeed.
Finally.
Oh, somehow Yeaman didn't get turned there by Ben Pedersen. Survives that moment.
So ever since I talked good things of Shannon Feeb, he's had another problem. He's requested a tow. So, geez, that was close there, wasn't it? That was a bit crazy.
That'll have to be a safety car. He's in the middle of the road.
Yeah,
come on.
Safety car.
Surely race control. Get it out there. He's in the middle of the track.
Yeah. So safety car's being called. Well, right now that means they can make it on fuel. So I'm pretty confident that they can make it on fuel now. The safety car's actually picked up the leader straight away. That's actually worked out very well for the entire field and certainly for race control that you can actually do that so quick. Got some cars pitting.
Yeah,
We've got Angus Lawford
Watson
pitting. That would be no
Dodds.
doubt to get that damage fixed.
Yep. So
and Will Watson and Dodds both coming in as well.
I think
so
if you're at the back of the field tonight, well, I mean the safety car was called early enough. You could have just peeled into pit lane, taken some fuel, got back out there, and you'd be guaranteed to get home. No fuel save needed.
I think this will. Yeah, no, I think you get home anyway. If your safety car stays out for 2 laps, I think you get. So I generally, when I'm doing spotting, it's a 2-for-1 sale. When the safety car's out, you get 2 laps of fuel for every 1 lap of racing you would normally get. So it's we saw in the race 1 that Dan Yeaman was only 40 seconds short of completing the race on 1 tank, and I would think that this would. I think the safety car's got 1 lap.
That car is in a very, very detrimental position.
Interesting to see what's happened there, but that car's absolutely toast. Looks like a Porsche that was at Phillip Island today at turn 6. Yeah, so interested to see what happened there. If we can go on to the...
So this was
Shannon's car.
Lawford's incident at turn
This is
1, 2.
Lawford.
Oh, just got caught up
Looks
with
like
Bowler.
Bowler's just tagged him. That I always give a little bit of sympathy on lap 1. There's always tight incidents there, but that could be a potential penalty for Bowler. And here,
Well,
pretty much. So that's what happened in race 1 with Bell as well. The cars just come across. That's
to be completely
yeah,
fair
I
to the
don't know
car
if he
that came
needed to
off
come
the
that
wall,
hard.
there for Fever, he didn't really need to go for the gap that was there. I mean, it's lap 1, and you're trying to make it 3 wide off the exit of turn 7 or turn 6.
At the same time, if you are Fever, do you expect that gap to close so quickly like that? You wouldn't think so. It was yeah. Look, I think it's a no blame game there. Certainly, Fever's got nothing to worry about apart from the fact his car's completely wrecked and he's out of the race. But certainly no incident no penalty coming for Fever, and probably would consider that to be a racing incident from the very short image that I just looked at. But for every lap this safety car stays out, so what's this, lap 2 behind the safety car now? You would think that if these guys are doing the right thing and changing their throttle mapping and things like that, that they will absolutely get home from here.
Yeah, they should do. They should do it on a no-stop strategy now at this stage. Lawford, Chapman, Watson are back in the pit lane. Interestingly enough.
Just a continuation of getting their repairs done. So they'll turn tyres and fuel off, and the repairs they'll get straight into the repairs, and also they'll know exactly how far they can be behind when the safety cars still aren't track to still catch up to the tail. And I think they've actually already done that already. So they were already on the tail, just short stops, and maybe just top it up with fuel again, get new tyres on it again. Doesn't look like that length of stop, but if you're at the back, you can pit every second of the day and you're not going to lose anything, and you're just going to keep refilling a new tyres. So a disappointing end to the season for Shannon Fever. Will not make the top 25, I wouldn't think, with this result.
Made points in race 1. Fitzpatrick made none. Colangelo made none.
Bowler made some.
Yeah, Bowler made some. And he... it's a bit tighter. There's at least 2 that are dropping down. And there's 3 of them that want to go up in Smith, Bowler and Fever. Smith's out. So Fever, with his points from race 1... actually, he's 160 points away. No, he hasn't made it.
Not happening.
No,
but
not
confident that if he wanted to qualify next season, he will. But up the front, hopefully it'll remain clean. Rodney Gallant had a good start, and Simon Mazzomo's got up the 1 spot as well. Jake Burton, to be honest, was probably predictable, because it's the first time Jake's been up the front. I think there was another reverse grid race 2 or 3 rounds ago. Was up the front, but wasn't up the front for very long. But we'll hopefully continue on having a strong race. But it's all about learning this season, and the safety car's about to pull in.
Yep, so safety car pulls away from the field. Hayden Veld will have control once again here off the restart of this race. Golan Mazzomo on the podium at the moment. Gardner Schuler, the top 5. Sam Muir back in P15. He's still currently winning the championship at this stage. Green flag flies here out at Belle Isle as we get going once again. A great restart from Hayden Veld. Got underway perfectly, you'd have to argue. And it's built a nice gap back to Rodney Golan.
Yeah.
I wonder now though, Brenton, now they're at full speed.
Rodney napping there a bit.
He did, he did.
So I think Rodney's, with Hayden's slow pace, and for extended slow pace, I'm just wondering whether Rodney thought he was going to take it all the way to the start-finish line, and Hayden's caught him napping there, and he's already drawn out a second advantage. And good little tight race here with Burton. I wonder how much Burton's going to want to defend here.
I don't know, but the issue is behind Schuler there's some fast oncoming traffic, and Daniel Harris, Matt Bowler. Those guys are hungry to make up positions in this race. And they've got some wicked pace on board these cars as well. And then in behind that, further back, you got the likes of Ben Pedersen, Stefan Lawrence, and then Sam Muir as he goes. Ben, can he finally get this done on Yeaman? He tried on lap 1.
You wouldn't think so. He's not going to hang on around the outside there. And if there was anyone but a teammate behind him, he would have left himself really vulnerable for the trailing car. But because in another part there...
Oh, bit of a door. Not too bad, though. They're still going.
Yeah, but if this bowler gets himself a drive-through penalty for that lap 1 incident, yeah, look, that could be looked at. Matty's doing his drive-through now. I'm surprised nothing got said there at all by Yeaman. He might have thought it was fair and play on, but anyway, Pedersen plays on and away he goes. So Pedersen now up to P10, so a gain of 5 positions already.
Good gain off this restart for Hayden Veld, out to over 1.5 seconds over Rodney Goller now, who's under pressure from Simon Mazzomo. Ellie Gardner's up there as well. Podium finish for her tonight would be a great way for her to end the season on a high, leading into season 3 of the Porsche Cup Series. So she'll be hoping to continue on this route of success going forward.
First flying lap from the restart, Hayden a 132.1 and Rodney Goller a 132.9. So we're talking 0.8 of a second on the first lap alone, and that gap is actually drawing out even further as we speak. Pedersen again making a move, going to be holding that quite well. Good job there, and progressing up. For the team out there, Ben's going to change his driving suit as well, right? I know the right racing team are watching at the moment. Ben's going to change his racing suit for that.
He does indeed. And we pondered the question earlier, what could have been for Ben Pedersen this season, Brenton. Now that he's a part of a team going into season 3, and I know that Ben has signed up for next season, what can be for him? And for my money, he's going to be one of the most dangerous drivers in terms of challenging for the championship next season, because he now has this large team around him who can help support him in challenging for the title come season 3.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about what could have been for Ben. I'm going to talk about what can be for Ben as we see Mazzomo go up to P2 amongst all those disappearing. I would actually go further than that, and I would say that Pedersen would be the championship favourite next season. I think he's driven well, but I'm not going to say he's driven smart. That might, I don't know the bloke from a bar of soap, that might describe him to a T, or they just might say that he's just made some silly mistakes. But I think he is the fastest driver out there, and now that he's got team support, they've taught him how to turn his tyres off. He would have had a lot more wins if he was a bit more careful about things, and I actually would think he's the championship favourite for next season.
I think if there is a world, though, that Muir finds a team for next season amongst this field, Brenton, he would arguably be as much of a favourite as Ben would be if he had a team around him.
Yeah, like we're only talking $1.25, $1.26 for between the two of them. It's going to be tight. There's no disrespect to Sam, who's driven not just cleanly, not just smart, but he's driven fast as well. We talked about the last race. He had the fastest lap of the race. It came P2. What else does this guy need to do? You know what I mean? Like he's got the respect of the field. And yes, a team would help him. He's done it pretty much all by himself this season, and he's done a fantastic job. A deserved champion indeed. And Matty Bowler's had an issue, so there might be a tow coming here. Oi! That's not a good move. That is not a good move.
No, that was the 916 around the outside of the VRT car.
Had nowhere to go.
No, round that corner and straight into the front of him. And then he's just continued to push him along. So this was Rowe's incident. And then
that's not a good move.
No, which he was getting passed around the outside. Probably could have just lifted off and backed out of it. But he sat here and then
Bowles come around a blind corner and you just...
nowhere to go.
You wouldn't expect that. You would not expect that.
Well, the safety car has been deployed for the second time in this race. So If we weren't guaranteed before to get home on fuel, we are now. So that there locks it in that drivers, I mean, you know, statistically it locked it in before, but we're now definitely guaranteed. Corey Laz was saying maybe if Job returns, he'll come back next season.
Wouldn't expect Joe to be able to make that commitment. I think Speed Cafe this morning announced Job's potential future. So Joe might be able to race a couple of rounds, but he's going to be pretty busy shortly, I think. And really, really stoked for the boy, and deserves any promotion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In the supercar world, for sure. Quality fella. Love talking to him. I don't talk to him a hell of a lot, but he's just so calm. You know what I mean? And you know, if he does join the supercar brigade, he's going to have. Well, I'll be honest, I don't watch supercars at all. But if he does get into it, I'll have a new favourite driver.
Did Speed Cafe mention in that future what potential outfit he could end up in next season if he were to go to supercars?
Well, again, I don't follow supercars at all, but it looks like LeBrock could be on the way out, so it could be a replacement.
Very interesting.
If you ask me what team LeBrock drove for?
That's for Erebus, which is a very interesting scenario because it would mean that Erebus will be running basically two young drivers in Cooper Murray and Job Stewart.
Yeah.
Interesting outfit option, but both very good drivers.
Talented.
Yeah.
Both very talented kids, and both are very good sim drivers.
Yes, they are.
So, yeah, it's always a feather in the cap with the to watch sim drivers progress through the field, and obviously both of them are extremely talented. But I remember when Anton D first drove in sim racing, actually drove for ERT, and he was an absolute asset, and went on to some pretty decent things. I think he's gone backwards since, but
it would be a pretty cool world if, for whatever reason, in our league we could get guys like who run a lot of sim racing. So guys like Andre Heimgartner, Anton.
You're disappearing.
Am I? Oh my god, I am too.
Back again now. Well, so I could tell you that Andre and Macaulay are both very keen sim drivers, and both are driving in the Logitech Pro Series.
Yes.
So Andre has got himself a full-time drive in the Pro Series as of next round, and he'll be having Macaulay as a co-driver, and we've got some other hopeful announcements coming up soon. There's two drivers in particular that we're chasing to try and team up together, and if we can get both of them in the same car, well, it'll be absolutely dynamic.
Well, I'm sure for certain drivers, for our participation alongside the Pro Series finale at Bathurst next season, maybe we could offer a couple of wildcard entries to some drivers if they wish to participate on the Saturday evening. Of course, we're capping it at 50 entries, so that opens it up to another 13 cars could join the grid as a wildcard that race, Brenton. I wouldn't mind having some...
It's something we could talk about off screen. I'm not going to make any commitments right now. But we've only got 30 minutes to go. So the 75% mark, do not do my maths. So what, 75% of half an hour is whatever it is, 20 minutes, that's 66%. So if he can get to the 23 minute mark, then he's done the 75%, as far as I would think.
Unless he gets disqualified. That is the only world past 22 and a half minutes that Sam Muir would lose the championship here tonight. So he ran everything he needed to run through in race one, gained 20 points over Simon Mazzomo off a arguably small mistake in the small scheme of things, but in the big scheme of things, it's pretty massive. Also, Hayden Veld is texting while he's driving right now. He's into the chat with us. Get ready for your restart, Hayden.
What a ledge. What a ledge. They're probably in the same Discord too, I would imagine, giving each other a bit of curry.
They probably are.
Good guys. Yeah, so... but they're both... actually, I'll be catching up with them both soon, hopefully, on September 18. There's a Logitech night happening in Melbourne that the boys have been invited to, and so long as Matty doesn't wear his bloody stupid bucket hat, then it's more than welcome to come along.
So Hayden Veld will look to get this race restarted as the safety car pulls away. And we get ready to go green flag running once again here in the VRS Porsche Cup Series. 12.5 minutes roughly left to go. Sam Muir needs to make another 4 minutes on the road to be classified tonight at 75% and to win the championship. The only world he can lose it after that is if he gets disqualified, as the green flag is flown at Belle Isle. And we're racing once again.
So straight away you can see the difference between the experience of Simon Mazomo compared to Rodney Gullen. So Hayden went a little bit earlier. Simon was ready to go. There was already a bit of pressure on the accelerator. Hayden wasn't going to be drawing away. The draft here isn't significant, but straight away there's early pressure on Hayden from Mazomo. And Mazomo's driven the entire series and would love to go out the last race as a winner, to say that, hey, look, I'm still here. Had some incidents this year. Not, it's obviously caused significant dramas or issues with his point scoring, but right now he's all over the back of Hayden Veld. We've got 10.5 minutes to go. They don't need to pit. They do not need to pit. They can make it home from here. We've got no worries about that. So it's going to be race on between the two green machines.
Yeah, two green machines battling away at the front of the field. As more cars battle away ahead of Sam Muir in towards turn 7. As we see McLeod ahead of him, Reddit, Schultz, Yeaman as well. Oh, and up he's inside. Alan Dawson wants to move on him. Look at the amount of right cars that are surrounding him right now. Let him have it, which you might as well.
So we're painting a picture towards next season now, because Ben Pedersen's going to be in a riot car. Ben Pedersen's going to be very competitive. And right now, we can see the potential of next season with this amount of riot cars in this championship. And Muir, who is not involved with the team, probably should be, who just needs possibly a bit more help than what he's getting at the moment.
Right now, Rodney Golan is dropping spots. He's dropped off the podium. Further up the field as Harris has now gotten past him, and Burton, and Gardner, and Ben Pedersen. 3 wide almost into turn 3. Pedersen runs out at the back end of that move, backed out of it at the right time. Gardner got through into P4. They reset themselves and they go on again.
And again, we've got a picture painted for next season, because Golan absolutely let Pedersen through there. So again, that's the type of thing that's going to, I believe, occur a lot next season, which will further favour Pedersen if he does have any dramas, or for the reverse grid races. He will find it very easy to cut through the field if there's an amount of right cars in front, whereas other drivers like Sam Muir, who does not have that, well, right guys aren't going to get out the way, nor should they. So that's why it's a team sport. It's not just the driver, and that type of thing does paint the picture for next season.
McLeod battling away here with Alan Dawson as they enter through the fountain section of this circuit. 21.5 minutes done. There's 60 seconds on the clock before Sam Muir is the provisional champion here tonight, and then that final 7.5 minutes is crucial for him to keep it clean. He can't afford a penalty in that final 7.5 minutes. He can't afford to lose points, and he can't afford to lose positions. The only mathematical chance that Simon Mazomo would have is if, well, Muir ends up at the back of the field and he has a points penalty. That is the only world in which he would drop to Simon Mazomo at the moment. As Lawrence gets past his teammate Rodney Golan as well, down towards...
And again.
Yeah, so I think Rodney knows he hasn't really got a hand in it. He's just going to let them pass, let them fight away, and try and hold off Alex Schuler and Daniel Yeaman as best he can. Mazomo's done well here, actually, to go with Veld off this restart, only half a second separating them at this stage. And it kind of then proves the point of how much time Golan was actually costing Mazomo and Harris early in this race, when Veld had built up that nice lead in the midpoint of the race here tonight.
Well, I would expect Veld, and Mazomo to stay with Veld, because Mazomo is the defending champion. So it can't be any surprises that Simon's staying with Hayden, who has done limited driving this year. I do think also, though, with just 7 minutes to go, we do a special shout out to Sam Muir. He's within 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1 of winning the championship. So congratulations to him. We have to remember he didn't race in race 1, so his drop round was right from the start. So he's had to drive faultlessly since the lack of participation in round 1. So, yeah, credit where credit's due. I think last week I kind of think he let himself down a bit with his tactics. I still believe that. But overall, the biggest picture is that he has driven superbly, he's driven consistently, he's driven fast, he's showing good racecraft, and he's a very much deserved champion for this season.
Yeah, right now, he would have the number, well, he would lose the 8-2 off the side of that car, and he would only have the 1 on the side of it.
Does he get the choice, though? Does he get the choice? He gets
the choice, but I mean, I did say to him last week as McLeod and Dawson bang doors, give each other a little bit of a handshake. I did say to him last week, I may make a rule that just forces the champion to run number 1, because it's nice to have the 1 on the grid. It shows off who the champion is. So,
being in control of the league, I know you do have the option of changing the number for him. So. It's not going to be that hard to enforce that one. No. You can give him any number you want.
No, I might make a deal with him. If he joins my team, I'll let him have 182. Maybe I'll do that.
Hang on. I didn't even know you had a team. What team's yours?
Infinity Motorsport is my team.
Oh, kind of makes sense like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why that was based on my conversations yesterday, or on Saturday for the Vets broadcast, when I spoke about the fact that Halil Cesar could win the Split 2 Championship this season as one of my drivers.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. I've got to admit, I was busy on Saturday. Didn't get a chance to watch that.
It was a 3-hour broadcast, to be fair, so it was a long one.
Horrible race it was.
Not for me, it wasn't.
Anyway. No, not at all. So we've got the last 5 minutes to go. It looks fairly comfortable up front for Hayden. Last lap of 132.1. Mazoma 131.7, so 4/10 quicker, but I think that's a controlled 4/10. Hayden made a little mistake. The fastest car on the track last lap was actually Stefan Lawrence in P6, a 31.2. Fastest lap of the race is not much better than that. It's a 31.225 compared to the 31.287 from Lawrence. So good time from Lawrence last lap, showing some potential for again next season. And Jake Burton, going to give him a shout out too. Started P2 this race. Yes. Hasn't dropped back. Yeah, hasn't dropped back a hell of a lot, in all honesty, and has done a good job maintaining up to P7. I thought that was him going off. Then I saw a yellow car.
No, it was Stacey.
This is in a world of horrible place, wasn't it?
Yeah, down at turn 6. So it looks to be on his lonesome, possibly.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, he caught that bump real bad and hit the wall.
Not uncommon. Driving quite aggressive, didn't need to, and has dropped an absolute bundle of spots. But again, that could be something that happens in front. And what are we down to the last 3.5 minutes? Probably about 2 or 3 laps to go. Good little battle here for P2 though that Mazoma doesn't need.
No, he really doesn't. He doesn't need this battle necessarily, but it's keeping his night fun in arguably what is just, not necessarily a poor night, but real deep from Harris. The 2 contenders from last season nearly making contact into turn 3. Now, if we had looked back only 3.5 months ago, if this was the scenario we had last season in the final round, well, what a scenario it would have been. It would have been the 2 championship contenders battling away for the title right at the precipice of the end of the season. We then come to a season later. Harris hasn't been able to race all season. He's out of the championship fight, but he wants to have a point to prove. If he can manage to run a full season next season, he'll be one to watch. I mean, you'd kind of think he would be. 8KI rating, a Vic State Series representative in the sim racing world only a few months ago as well. He's a very talented, young, quick driver. And if he can put a full season together, well, how many different championship contenders could we have in Season 3 if that happens? If we get the return of Lazarus, if we get the return of Harris, Pedersen now in a team, if Muir can continue his run, that's 4 drivers already, top level, who could battle away for a gold class championship next season.
Yeah, looking forward to it very much. I think it's going to be an outstanding season ahead. Looking forward to it a lot. But yeah, we've had good looks at what's going to happen next season already. Interested to see which cars nominate for next season. You said it's gone open to the public already as of today, I think you said.
As of
So
yesterday, it went out to the public.
As of yesterday, so it'll be interesting to see who's actually going to join now that it's open for all.
I can confirm an Eclipse Sim Sports car has signed up in Brian Phillips. He has literally signed up tonight.
Byron Phillips?
Yep, Byron Phillips.
Yep.
Of Eclipse Sim Sports. What has just happened to Hayden Veld? He's just disappeared off our screens and appears to be out of the race, which would give Simon Mazzomo the race win with only 2 laps to go, or 1.5 laps to go if that's happened to Hayden.
Yeah, that describes Hayden's.
So if we're
luck in a nutshell.
Yeah. So if we're getting Byron Phillips signed up, could we see a world which Zach Rattray White signs up, or Kobe Williams signs up as well?
Hayden's about to disconnect from the service. Just if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Anyway, I think we'd be close, not quite the last lap yet.
No, there'll be one to go and cross the line.
Yeah, so Byron, quality driver. Kobe, got a lot of time for Kobe. Champion Formula 4 driver. He can steer a Formula 4 as good as anyone, if not better than anyone in Australia. So if Kobe is out there in Eclipse land listening in, it'd be fantastic to have him in the series. And I could tell you, if either of those join the series, good move here by Harris. There goes Hayden, dropped out from the lead. Wow, that's crazy unlucky. Crazy unlucky, and would have been a very well-deserved winner of this race. But it's not going to cost him the championship. It's not going to cost him top 25. And hopefully, Hayden, if you're listening out there, and I'm pretty sure you are, it'd be great to see you involved next season. Good race here for the win for the last lap, though.
What a race to the very end of this, and it's, 2 drivers who previously have battled away for a championship, big rivals for season 1 of the series, less so now, but there's always a little bit to play.
Pedersen's going
to take the race win. Mazzomo, oh my God, Mazzomo's been knocked out of the race lead by Daniel Harris. You can't separate them, apparently, even when one car doesn't have a hand in the battle. Pedersen is going to take this race win. He's going to Bradbury his way there. Gardner looks to finish P2, but with Stefan Lawrence on her heels, this here could get interesting and spicy. But with only a few corners to go for Ben Pedersen.
And for Sam Muir as well.
Yep, and for Sam Muir. So Pedersen will come around turn 13 for the final time, and he will win the round this evening. Ben Pedersen does the double and wins it at Belle Isle. Ellie Gardner comes home in P2. Yes, Stefan Lawrence P3. Mazzomo did all he could to get home in P4. But Sam Muir, what a drive this season. Perfect in every round that he ran after losing his drop round in round 1. And he is our Season 2 champion.
Yeah, so well done. Congratulations to Sam. Fantastic performance. We talked it up during the race. I don't need to keep talking about him, but he just did a fantastic job. Well deserved. Ben Pedersen from 15th to 1st. He doubled up tonight. Congratulations, Tough Track 2. Ellie Gardner, well done. First podium, I believe, for Ellie.
She's had a podium before, but definitely her first in a while.
Yeah,
for
good
sure.
stuff. And gained 4 positions. So she actually went up during the race. So didn't just rely on the reverse grid. So that's a fantastic. Stefan Lawrence. So a fantastic team effort for Riot. First and third this race. And for Simon Mazzomo, look, I don't think he's going to have a world of disappointment. It's not going to be a world of disappointment. It was a great result for Simon. But, yeah, congratulations to all.
Well, what a race it has been. What a season it has been as well. Our biggest to date, and we look to go even bigger for Season 3 coming up as we await our podium finishers to join us here tonight in the booth. A big congratulations has to go to Sam Muir, our Season 2 champion. Let me just confirm with the CRS Kyle that he is the champion. and we'll have a quick chat to our podium finishers. But first of all, we've got Stefan Lawrence waiting in the wings to come and have a quick chat to us. I know that you've got to tick off fairly quickly, Brenton. So do you want to say anything before we let you go for this season?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season. I've got to fly off to Adelaide early in the morning, so I can't hang around. Just good job. Thank you to the Race Control. Very good job this year, and to yourself, Hamish, for putting the broadcast together. And well, unless your other half wants to co-commentating gig, I might be back next season.
I don't know if she will, but we'll be very happy to have you back next season, Brenton, if you'll have us. So it's been an absolute pleasure. We'll talk soon, and looking forward to what can come for season 3, and what may come for us here in the land of the IRWC. So thank you so much.
Good on you. Look forward to it. Thanks all, and we'll see you next season.
No worries. Thank you, Brenton.
Cheers.
First of all, this evening, ladies and gentlemen, our P3 on the road in the feature race, or the second feature race of the night. It was 2 across the evening, 2 30-minute feature races. It is Stefan Lawrence here this evening. Stefan, congratulations. P3 on the road in race 2. First of all, congratulations. Top effort. Second of all, man, imagine what could have happened if you had a full season under your belt. You are going to be dangerous next season with Ben as your teammate now. And then the gaggle of cars you guys have collected this season, Riot's going to be on the up. And I mentioned with Brenton on the broadcast, you and Ben are probably going to be the most dangerous combination out there for the top 2-seater drivers of your team. How does it feel, not only to get Ben within the team now, but to end the season so strongly with such a performance tonight for your team?
Oh, it's definitely good to have Ben. We've actually had a fair few of these drivers around. It's just no one wanted to obviously race what I was racing when we first met. But no, it's definitely good to have Ben on the team. Different perspective, and obviously he's very, very, very fast. I've somehow picked up pace in this car. Like I'm not used to being up here, so it's a bit. It's a bit weird, but no, it's awesome, and I'm glad that to get a good result. Well, I've had fair decent results, but I was trying to get the win off Ben, but it happens.
Now, a very strong performance for yourself, obviously. Season 3 next season, 11 rounds, 2 drop rounds available to you. How are you feeling going into next season? Are you feeling confident now, knowing, Riot's got a very strong core of a team? You've got some really good pace as well. You think maybe you could sneak yourself possibly a podium in the championship next season if things go your way?
I'm hoping so. I've just the only issue is I'm probably going to miss a round or 2 as I'm going on holiday.
That's fine. We've got 2 drop rounds for a reason, so that'll help your cause a little bit. But
because I'm going to Bathurst. I go every year and camp on the top of the mountain. So and it's obviously in that 2 time frame, and then the Saturday Bathurst might be a little hard because I work Saturday night. So, but no, I'm hoping to obviously give Ben a run for his money. Feels weird to be near him, but no, I'm confident. I feel confident in the car. I just feel like my race pace. I feel like I need to just get that extra 10th or 2 in the race. Quali I feel pretty confident in, so no, I'm hoping to put this beautiful Riot car up the front.
Well, there's plenty of them out there, so if it's not you, they are. I mean, the statistics would say if you field enough cars, one of you should finish on the podium, surely. But
you'd hope so.
But no, I mean, Stefan, a fantastic performance from you. Great to see your transition from the supercar into this car as well, and how you've progressed from that supercar to this car too. So it's been fantastic to watch your journey across this season. Looking forward to seeing what you can do next season as well, with your gaggle of cars around you. But no, let us know, help us get you out on track. Anyone else you want to give a shout out to as well? I don't know if Ben's even going to come and have a chat to us tonight. He's not in the green room, so. But no, congrats to you. If Ben doesn't come and have a chat to me, congrats to him as well on his round win. But yeah, let us know, help us get you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, for myself, Brenton, and the rest of the league, congrats on your success here at Belle Isle, and best of luck for next season.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Just want to shout out, Hamish, you as well, one of the best commentator on iRacing at the moment. I've also just want to thank, you guys hosting a beautiful league as well, well-run league. It's hard to find them nowadays. I'd just like to thank V8 Drive Day, obviously the Riot Boys, Print Racer Printing. I say this name wrong every time, this, the Grande one. And Sim... Can't read. I'm really bad.
Is it Sim Racing in Perspective podcast?
No, Sim Racing in Focus. Yeah, my bad.
Sim
Sorry,
Racing in Focus. Well, I mean, maybe we need to word up Mr. Reddit, see if he can get me on the podcast to advertise the league in between seasons, maybe, and he can get his next episode out possibly. But who knows? But
yeah, I asked him how fast do I need to be to get an episode, and he hasn't said anything yet. So I'll keep trying. But no, I can just send him a message. I don't see why he wouldn't.
Only time will tell. I mean, we've got 4 weeks till next season, so there's time there for an episode, and it helps us get the league out there. But also, I love a podcast, so love to have chats with people. But no, Stefan, congratulations, fantastic effort once again, and best of luck next season. We're looking forward to seeing how you go.
Amazing, thank you, Hamish, and thank you again for running this.
No worries, thank you. Next up on the road tonight, I believe for the first time in a feature race, Ellie Gardner has finished on the podium. Ellie, I just announced that I believe this is your first time on the podium in at least a feature race here. I think you've had a podium before in a sprint or a rush race before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but nonetheless.
Second interview, I think.
Okay.
I had one. I can't remember when, but feels good to be back.
Yeah, couple of moons have passed since the last time we've spoken in here. Arguably, yourself and Ben and Stefan Bradbury'd your way up to the top 3 after the moment with Mez and Harris, but you put your car in the position where you could take advantage if something happened. A tough season at periods of time for you, but you've really shown some great improvement in your pace in this car this season. That's the one thing I've noticed across practice sessions leading into qualifying and then even during the races as well. You've really improved upon your pace in this car. Has that helped you get a bit more confidence this season as well?
Yeah, I think I've had a huge amount of personal things going on this season, so I just not had the time or energy to dedicate to sim racing as I did last season. But yeah, my pace has been really good for the like 3 races that I got a time to put any practice in other than the session beforehand. So yeah, it was really nice to get on the podium tonight on the last race after such a poor season for myself. Like, it wasn't terrible, but yeah, just a lot of bad luck. I mean, as I'm sure everyone knows by now, if I didn't have bad luck, I would have no luck at all, as Mez would like to say. So yeah, it was lovely to get back on the podium, and I don't know, I could foresee Simon and Daniel coming together. I've seen this one before,
Yeah, it's
something about Belle Isle.
Almost like history repeating itself, isn't it? A little bit.
It is a little bit like that.
And sometimes, and that's nothing against Daniel or Mez. Oftentimes we find 2 drivers just always find themselves on track, and they always find each other, and they always find a way to have something happen. And that's nothing against either of them. It's just that happens in racing.
When the field at the pointy end is so quick, and the difference between like a fast lap and a bad lap is a tenth or 2, you're talking about a tenth of a meter between beautifully clean racing and complete utter destruction. So on a track like this, it's bound to happen, even with the cleanest drivers. So yeah.
Well, next season, Ellie, we're hoping to obviously fill our grid fairly quickly. We're already at halfway to capacity at this stage. With 4 weeks until we go racing next season, we're hoping we can fill that within the next 2 weeks, because it will mean that we will have a week to do pre-qualifying, as we wish to separate people into classes next season as well. As a driver in the field, how do you think that will help with the retention rate of the whole field? Obviously, last week at Long Beach we had less drivers. I think that's also just the Long Beach factor, to be fair, because we got more drivers this week at Belle Isle than we did at Long Beach. But how well do you think that will motivate drivers to maybe keep trying and keep pushing with the three classes involved to try and give everyone something to fight for throughout the field?
I think it's better for everyone, because like we have the awesome rush rounds with the full reverse grid, and then you get, gaps of times that are like a couple seconds per lap, and it's if you're always down the bottom of the field, it's not going to be fun if you're fighting for. I mean, the racing's always going to be fine if you've got people to race against, but I don't know, it just makes it better for the lower half of the field to have something to really fight for and feel, I don't know, something to show for the hard racing that they put in. And then you also have just a bit less chaos where it's not quite as hectic, but you still get the chaos anyway with those reverse grids. So I think it's a really good idea.
Well, we're really excited for next season. 11 rounds, including a special appearance at the Pro Series finale weekend as well. It's looking to be a fantastic season to come. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do next season as well, if you're back out on track with us once again, and how you can continue to progress in this car and improving in this car as well. But let us know, Ellie, anyone you want to give a shout out to, anyone who may be watching and giving you support. For myself, Brenton, and the rest of the league, congratulations on your P2 here tonight in the second feature race out at Belle Isle.
Yeah, thanks, Hamish, and shout out to everyone in the league again. Fantastic, love the broadcast, and especially when you are sick or have a family emergency and you still take the effort to put the broadcast back up. I think that's mad props and respect goes to you for that, and just all the friends and family that put up with me ranting about my races, especially when I've had a bad one. So thank them for putting up with my rants.
Well, Ellie, best of luck next season. If we do see you out on track for the Porsche Cup Series once again.
Yeah,
I'll
be here.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing your continued rise up the order and your progression in this car as well. Best of luck in your preparations over the next month as well. I can say too, I forgot to say this to Stefan, so you can pass this on to him when we chat to Ben in a moment, that the pre-qualifying tracks, the front runners at the moment are Winton and the Red Bull Ring. For our pre-qualifying tracks, we're running 2 tracks that we ran this season, so it means that if drivers who have re-signed up from this season can't make pre-qualifying, we can just take their best qualifying times from the rounds they participated. So it was our fairest way to do it next season. But thank you so much, Ellie. Really, really appreciate it. Best of luck next season. And great job tonight. Really, really good to see you up there in the feature race.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, next up we've got Ben Pedersen coming our way to have a quick chat to us. Sim Racing in Focus is in the chat though, saying consider it done, Hamish. We'll be in touch shortly, so you can expect a Sim Racing in Focus chat between myself and the boys over there, chatting about next season of the IRWC. Next up, though, we'll be having a chat to the 669 car, who finally finds himself surrounded by a team which has already helped him once now, Ben. I heard through a little bird that they helped you turn off your tyres automatically in the App Ini file, and you managed to sneak your way up to the front of the field tonight. Now, obviously, you changing tyres was a big thing for me and Brenton to talk about this season, and it was great to see you do well last week, great to see you pay off tonight as well. Next season, though, surrounded by such a big team, right now for me and Brenton, you're our favourite to win this whole thing, not to put any pressure on you, because like for my money, I think yourself and Stefan, seeing the pace that Stefan has shown this season, you are going to be one of the most dangerous combinations out there for top 2 drivers within a team, alongside the likes of Matt Bowler and Hayden Veld if they sign up, or Job Stewart may not sign up next season, but, guys like that, like really up in that upper echelon. How's it feel, though? Double win tonight, you win the round. It's another 3-month subscription coming your way, which whether you want to hold on to it or whether you want to give it away. We need to figure out a way to do that in future. But yeah.
No, I need it. Mine's lapsed. And
Oh,
I
well,
definitely need it.
that works out then. I did send you some a couple of weeks ago, so it'll be a couple of more months coming your way as well. But, mate, talk us through it, because that there tonight, fantastic race from you. Won race 1, started P15 race 2, fought your way up the field, and then chaos happens on the last lap with Mazomo and Harris, and you sneak on by and take the race lead and the race win. How much were you smiling and how much were you fist pumping when that happened, knowing that it handed you the race win in the end after such a tough run through the field throughout race 2?
Honestly, I was more shocked because it happened so quick. I don't even know who was at fault, but I thought I was running 4th, not 3rd. So I seriously, until I got to the finish line, I thought, oh, I've won. So I had no idea. Because I don't really look at the relative when I'm driving unless I really need to, because it's off to the right down there, and I don't know if you guys have played in VR, but you've got like a mailbox view. You can't see much. But no, look, I've been gifted twice now. I won on Thursday night too in a different league at the GSRC. And that was a gift from Corey. He went off the track a few times. Speaking of which, is he signed up as well?
He hasn't. He's claimed that he'll sign up if Job Stewart signs up for next season, but with Job's schedule about to be getting a lot more busy, with him heavily rumoured to be heading to Erebus next year in the supercars. It'll be great to see him in an Erebus seat and in supercars as well. But we want to see Corey back here. We want to see him racing, because even without Job in the field, I think the field is so strong with Sam, yourself, Stefan, Mez on his day, Matt Bowler, Hayden Veld. Like, there is such a strong field at the front end of town that Corey necessarily may not have it as easy as what he had it last season when he was challenging against Mez. And I know that he arguably threw it away in the end, but he's not going to have it that easy, I think, next season.
Yeah, it depends what bloody tracks you select. I mean, everyone's got their favourites.
Well, we did announce our calendar, 11 rounds for next season, one of which is taking place, of course, on the Pro Series finale weekend at Bathurst. So just to kind of talk through the calendar for next season: Laguna Seca, Homestead Miami Road Course, Chicago, Road America, Montreal, Alton Park, Zandvoort, Algarve, Imola, Bathurst, and then ending it out at Belle Isle.
There's a lot of street courses there, so I'm happy.
Well, there's a couple. There's Belle Isle, Bathurst, Chicago, Montreal. Technically, could be considered as a street circuit too.
I haven't been there for a long time. Yeah, there's a couple of tracks that I'm a bit like Laguna and Miami. If I want to be up the front, I need to do a lot of work at it. But I like it. There's only a couple that need a lot of work, I think, and then the rest I'm all okay at. So I don't have to learn anything new except Miami.
Well, I mean, it's the Miami Roval course, of course. We're not putting the Miami Street Circuit in next season, but we have had conversations about Mexico and Miami for season 4, but that's, small whispers. We have a provisional calendar for season 4. We planned that far in ahead, Ben.
Nice.
I get excited about calendars, I'll be honest with you. But no, next season looks to be exciting. You're one of the first to sign up for next season, so we're excited about that. And a strong finish for you this season in the end carries some momentum with you leading into next season as well. So I think that's going to help your cause a lot more. Are you scared if Sam rocks up at round 1 next season and he's got a team around him?
We're playing a sim. We don't get scared.
That's true.
It's just fun.
That's true. Very true. And I mean, and that's a good mindset to have. A very, very good mindset to have. And I think a lot of drivers can maybe take that mindset more. We're playing, as many people hate it, we're playing a game, and a lot of people take it very seriously.
Yeah, it's an expensive game to get into, though, and I mean you get a lot of professional drivers doing it, so they're doing something right.
No, it's true. They are indeed. I mean, it is a sim. It's a very somewhat realistic sim as well. At the crux of it, though, it is a game. The way it's made, the way it's coded, that's what it is. But it is a simulator, and at its core, it is a simulator. So it's a very good one.
But I don't think there's any fear, Hamish. It's more like the stronger the field and the more people up the front battling, I think the better.
I agree.
As the talent gets higher, the racing improves, and
yeah.
So I'm hoping all the boys sort of come out next season. It'll be good.
I hope so.
You hear me, Corey?
Yeah.
Better race, Corey.
I hope he does. I really hope he does.
Yeah, same.
But Ben, fantastic effort though. P1 on the road in both races tonight. Perfect amount of points going home with you for the final round of the season. You know, what a better way to finish your championship out this season than with 2 wins. Let's see if you can back it up in round 1 next season to get yourself a couple more. But let us know. Helps get you out on track. Anyone you want to give a shout out to? For myself, Brenton, who unfortunately can't be here, and the rest of the league, congratulations on your round win here this evening out at Belle Isle.
Yeah, thanks, Hamish, and thanks for putting it all together with all your sponsors, VRS, obviously Infinity. Who else you got? You got SPP Graphics.
Yeah, and Blackheart
Who else?
Designs as well.
Blackheart Designs, and then obviously all the Riot boys for taking me on board. They're a great bunch of guys, and they've given me motivation to want to practice a bit and spend more time with them on the track. So I'm looking forward to it. And obviously the rest of my sponsors, PGA for letting me run their logo because I'm a member, Acushnet as well, and of course Matrix Norwest. So yeah, thanks for all the support, guys.
Well, Ben, best of luck next season out on track. We look forward to seeing how you go. Enjoy the 4-week break to come, and we're very excited for next season. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be bigger and better once again, and well, we think it's going to be a doozy, so we hope you do too.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thanks, guys.
No worries, thank you. And finally, this evening, ladies and gentlemen, P2 in race 1 ended up being P13 in the end in race 2, but it was enough to win him the Season 2 championship for the IRWC VRS Porsche Cup Series. Sam Muir. Sam, congratulations. Arguably a very, very close to perfect season for you, and it needed to be. You missed round 1, you signed up for round 2, you had no drop round available to you, and you had to hit your marks every single lap of every single week through, you know, different tactics, which we've been very vocal about, and that's fine, but also through some great driving and some great battling. You've earned this championship, and you know, I mentioned at the start of the show, Belle Isle was going to make the choice tonight on who the champion was. Arguably what it came down to was a mistake from Mez in race 1 that dropped him 20 points to you, which made it that you just had to make 75% in race 2 and you were going to win, but you put yourself in the position and you earned yourself the championship. So first of all, congratulations. Second of all, have you got a bunker you can lock yourself in when the whole grid may decide to come after you if you don't decide to run number 1?
Yeah, it's a good point, Aim. Yeah, no, thanks very much. Feels, yeah, equal parts happy and relieved. As you said, there's been a lot of pressure on right throughout the season, not having that drop round to fall back on. So every single race, as you said, had to be perfect, and we couldn't afford a single slip up. So yeah, had a lot of luck along the way, but yeah, just super stoked to get to the end. And yeah, we'll definitely run the number 1 on the door next season.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
well, I did joke with Brenton during the broadcast. Said, well, I'll make a deal with Sam if he is hesitant to run the number 1, that if he joined my team, he could run his 182 number for the next season and just play that card. But no, I mean, you know, what a season from you, and you know, put yourself in a great position for tonight. 31 points in the lead of the championship coming into it. After race 1, were you aware of what you needed to do for race 2 and actually how much easier you had it for yourself after the first race? Or was it you were just, you know, like, what was going through your mind throughout race 2 and the lead up to race 2 in that warm-up session as well?
Yeah, I quickly got the Excel spreadsheet out and did some sums and crunched some numbers and figured, well, I was pretty confident that pretty much all I had to do was finish that one. So I was pretty much just praying that the internet stayed on and didn't have any hardware issues or anything like that. But I was also only expecting a reverse top 5 for that second race. So I was like, oh, well, if I've got that wrong, maybe I had the points wrong as well.
I'll be honest, as was I. And then I was told by the chief race steward, no, it's actually top 15. I'm like, well, actually, that's kind of better because this puts more pressure on you for that race, which obviously makes it more exciting for us. But yeah, I mean, we worked it out that obviously there was only 26 cars that started race 2. It was literally you just had to make the checkered flag without a penalty. You could have finished P26 and you would have won. You know, and then if it was P26, Mez would actually have to win the race, and you'd need a penalty. So it was a lot that would need to stack for you to lose it, or you would not need to make it to the 22.5 minutes and get no points like that. Those were the only two extraordinary worlds. The realistic world was you were going to make it to the end and you were going to win the title. Very similar way to how Mez won it last season as well. I will say, I mean, Daniel, unfortunately, last season in the final round, had a bit of a poor run, didn't quite get what he needed in race 1 and then couldn't do anything about it in race 2. It was a similar scenario tonight for Mez against you. Are you hoping there isn't a curse on that now and that you can try and break that next season and maybe go back to back?
Yeah, we'll do our damnedest to try that and defend the title. It's going to be easier said than done, though. There are some very, very quick boys and girls in this series. Guys who are just super duper consistent as well. So yeah, definitely going to be easier said than done, but already looking forward to next season.
There are also some very, very quick drivers who have recently signed up today. The likes of Rick Kunetsov of 95 Sim Sports and Byron Phillips of Eclipse Sim Sports as well. Now, obviously, with Byron signing up and Eclipse coming in, that could mean a world where maybe we see Zach Ratcho-White or Kobe Williams sign up too, and then they come in and put pressure as well. So it seems the field's only getting faster, but that also makes it a little bit more fun, doesn't it? Because it gives some more challenge to you. It means that there are some faster drivers you've now got to be able to contest around and fight around and try and race hard against. So then, you know, you can battle away with them for the series once again.
Yeah, exactly right. You want to be going up against the best of the best, and yeah, it's no surprise that this league is attracting that quality of driver. It's, you know, super fun league to be involved in, run extremely well, and yeah, it's just awesome to be a participant in. And there's nowhere else that I'd rather be racing on a Monday night, and that's probably the biggest plaudit that you can give to a league. So yeah, bring it on. Really excited that those guys are going to come in, and you know, I haven't really raced against a lot of these guys until this season, like going up against the ERT boys, for example. Had seen a lot of them across the V8 leagues and GT3s and knew what they could do there, and it was awesome to have the opportunity to race against them here in this league this season as well. It forced me to go to another level, so yeah, looking forward to the challenge of that next season, and hopefully, well, we'll definitely need to find another level if we want even a chance of going back to back.
Well, you went to what was a phenomenal level. You took it to the next level. It paid off for you, and you've won yourself a championship now. So congratulations on all your success this season. Sam, let us know anyone you want to give a shout out to. For myself, Brenton, and the rest of the league, you know, not only thank you for racing this season, but congratulations on all your efforts, and congrats on the championship season you've just put together for yourself. Really, really well done.
Cheers, Hamish. Appreciate it. Yeah, congrats to Mez for coming runner-up. Shame he didn't have the luck tonight, but you know, phenomenal effort to be as consistent as he has been, not just this season, but for 2 seasons back to back in a league with, you know, we were just talking about how good the quality is, and with the different round formats and all that sort of stuff, to be as consistent as he has been over these last couple of seasons is phenomenal. I'm not too sure who got P3 in the end, but if it was Colby, massive shout out to him. The dedication that he must have to wake up as early as he does on the other side of the world to come and compete with us is just, yeah, phenomenal. I wish I had that dedication. It's my former team, 1-9, who I started the season with. Massive shout out to those boys for the continued support, the messages. Jakey Jackson coming in and being my spotter for a couple of races there. Yeah, shout out to those guys. And yeah, massive shout out to everyone at IRWC. As I said, just a awesome league to be a part of. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else on a Monday night. If you're thinking about doing Porsche Cup racing or GTEs or NASCAR, I think those are the other series that you guys are running. Definitely come in and have it a go. You won't regret it. To all the series sponsors, SPP Graphics, Blackheart Graphics, Infinity Broadcast. Cheers to Hamish and Brenton. It's always awesome going back and watching these replays. Hamish, as Stefan said, one of the best callers in this part of the land, and almost get a free coaching lesson from Brenton every Tuesday morning, whether he's talking about me or somebody else. He always just giving some awesome insights into strategy and racecraft and those sorts of things. So hopefully he comes back next season to do it again. To the major sponsors as well, VRS. I suppose I'll give them a bit of a plug. I don't have any affiliations with them myself, but I do use their hardware for pedals and wheelbase. Highly recommend if you're looking to make the switch over to them. Use them for telemetry as well. And also for coaching. I've actually reached out to Joshy Anderson to give me a couple of lessons in the Cup car this season, and he's been immensely helpful, not only helping me to find a couple of tenths at specific tracks, but also to really dig into my data and understand my telemetry and help me identify areas in my technique that I can use to get a bit quicker. So yeah, if you're thinking about coaching, definitely hit up Joshy Anderson from VRS. But and to all the boys and girls who have showed up here on a Monday night, thank you. It's been awesome racing against everyone, and can't wait to do it all again next season.
Well, Sam, you've put together a fantastic season this season. You've banked up quite a few months of VRS subscriptions to your name as well, so you'll be able to use those next season to go even better. So we look forward to seeing how you do next season. It's been an absolute pleasure to call your races this season as well. I'm glad you mentioned the GTEs. We had a question, I think it was yesterday, on how many sign-ups we've had from Lockhart Brownlee, the open chat. Lockhart, if you're watching, we've had one. It's you. So if anyone's thinking about driving GTEs, the drivers voted for it. Please sign up and please come racing on a Wednesday, because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're running a different format for those races. A 90-minute race and a 2-hour race. So you got some longer form races in those GTE cars. We want to see you guys out there. You got 4 weeks. Get the sign-ups in and get racing with us for the GTE series as well. Rod Knox has been fantastic this season in the ARCA cars. Next gen NASCARs next season is going to be even better. So we're looking forward to that one. But Sam, congratulations on all your efforts this season in the Porsche Cup Series. So looking forward to seeing what you can do in Season 3. And best of luck on track, and enjoy the 4-week break to come.
Will do, Hamish. Thanks again. Cheers.
No worries. Thanks, Sam. Mez getting in the chat. It's about to be 2. Well, hopefully we get more than 2, Mez. I hope so. Otherwise, we're going to have to make some very tough decisions heading in towards round 1 in a few weeks' time. But in a few weeks' time, well, we're going to be gone now for about a month for at least the Porsche Cup Series. We've still got 2 rounds to go of the Rodnock Cup, round 9 this coming Friday night at Echo Park in Atlanta. Then we head out to Daytona the week after. So you've still got 2 more races of IRWC action to come your way from the Rodnock Cup Series on Friday nights. We've still got 2 more rounds of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Split 2 action of Season 24 to come your way as well. This week we're out at Misano. Next week we head out to Okayama as well. So you can catch all that action right here on Infinity Broadcasting. If you're watching over on Twitch, hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well. So you're notified whenever we go racing here in the IRWC and in the V8 Veterans as well. I am about to put into the chat. That's not what I wanted to put in there. It's not even going to show up anyway, so that is fine. I am just about to put in there the link to the Discord. So if you're watching along and you wish to join next season for the GTE series or the Rodnock Cup or the Porsche Cup series or any of them or all of them, you can get into the Discord and you can sign up for next season. So join along, get in. Porsche Cups, it's a $30 entry fee for next season. GTEs are $20 and the Rodnock Cup is $10 for our Friday night fun night coming your way next season. So get in there and get racing as well. But for the final time this season, we appreciate everybody's time being here with us once again for the IRWC VRS Virtual Racing School Porsche Cup Series. Myself, Hamish Munro Brenton O'Brien, have been in the booth with you here this evening. Thank you all so much. A massive shout out to our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, VRS Virtual Racing School. If you want the opportunity to win yourself some competitive subscriptions, get involved in the Porsche Cup Series next season. There are 3-month, 2-month and 1-month subscriptions to be won every single week. If you are watching along, be sure to hit the subscribe button here on Infinity Broadcasting. It helps support us as broadcasters and the leagues as well that we broadcast here on the channel. You can get in contact with me on Discord through Hamish Munro. If you're interested in some broadcasting opportunities, get your league broadcasted, or if you want some work from Blackheart Designs as well, we'll get your sim racing cars looking as sexy as possible before you inevitably make contact with another car or possibly end up in the wall as well. So you can send me a message, Hamish Munro, on Discord, or at HM_injection over on Instagram. We'll get you guys sorted with some broadcasts or with some liveries. And to SPP Graphics, if you want to get your dirt bike looking as sexy as possible before you cover it in mud or end up hitting a tree with it, send Johnny a message over on the Facebook page of SPP Graphics as well. They're linked directly in the description below of all of our IRWC streams. You guys can contact them and let you guys looking as fantastic as possible. But I'm Hamish Munro with Brenton O'Brien this season for Season 2 of the IRWC VRS Porsche Cup Series. We'll see you guys in 4 weeks' time for Round 1 of Season 3 out at Laguna Seca. Until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
No control, feel the thunder in my soul. Through the danger, through the pain, only one thing to do to get to victory lane. Taking risks, full send, and in the end, be the best. It's taking over, cannot contain the desire to get to victory lane. Of the past, the roaring ghosts that never last. But here I stand, the finish line. One last race, one last time. Through it all, get past the pain. Cutting laps, making gains. Feeling tired, get to my aim. The desire to get to victory lane. Speeding faster, no control. Feel the thunder in my soul.